Hi, I'm Jose, and today I want to talk about the importance of UX design and prototyping in your business as a freelancer, vendor, or agency. A lot of agencies will often use page applications like Word or Google Sheets, Simple Text, or even Notepad to create one of the first things necessary to create any digital project, which is a content index. And inside that content index, you will typically number and name things based on what the content is and the hierarchy of information within the digital product. In this example, you see 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, etc. In the example of 2.0, then you can have a subsection, subpage 2.1, 2.2, and even tertiary 2.2.1, etc. That makes it easy for anyone that's using these kinds of page applications to actually create these very easily, very quickly. The benefit of that also is that a lot of these page applications are pretty ubiquitous. Pretty much everybody uses them and has them. The ability to create numbered lists is really, really easy. And this allows for discussion, feedback, reviews, etc., without having to install something new. The product we're going to introduce you today is called InFlo UX. It is essentially a UX application designed to take a content index document and create an interactive prototype in seconds. Essentially how it works, and we're starting with Figma, but later on we're going to evolve over to Adobe XD as well as Sketch. So a UX designer, and I will talk about this in a minute, doesn't have to be a UX designer. Someone using Figma can engage the plugin, upload the document, select their device type, submit it, and it actually outputs all of the information from that content index as frames, numbered and carrying over their also respective names, as well as ordering them visually the way a sitemap might look. But now let's take two examples here. One, a new project. And I'm going to talk about how this benefits the ability to create fast ideas that can be shared very quickly with stakeholders for buy-in, for feedback, etc. So as I mentioned before, user uploads a content index with a numbered order list on it as a content index, chooses a device size type, and then in instances where a Figma installation, where a lot of freelancers, vendors, and agencies will have actual templates already there, design systems, etc. So what InFlo UX is designed to do, or will be designed to do, is to then, two things. One, based on the hierarchy, understand, for example, anything 1.0 is going to be a primary page, anything 2.0 will be secondary, anything 3.0 will be tertiary, etc. In recognizing that, in the dashboards, as you see here, it'll say, okay, 1.0, you are a primary. 2.0, you are secondary, etc. But it also allows the user the ability to change that page template if they so desire for other purposes. But if they don't do anything and just take it as is, it will output the frames with that exact device type, dimensions, etc. Now let's look at an existing project, because let's face it, even an approved content index mid-project, even though it's going through probably its design phase at this point, is going to have changes. So what the system is designed to do, InFlo UX, is when a new content index document is ingested, it will recognize what has changed and will only populate the new index inside of an existing project to say these are the two new things. And once it does that, it'll go through the same example of choosing a template or auto-recognizing based on that hierarchy, 1.0 primary, 3.0 also secondary, and then it will output the changes only. So in the example as you see on the right, this block here shows a wireframe template before the new index change took place. And in the interim, the UX designer went and made a design decision or started to design them out. This simple example, they changed the gray hero area to red. So what InFlo UX does, it ignores, or let's say does not impact that design change. it'll say, great, leave it alone. But now what you don't see here is that this was 1.0 home and is now from the change 1.0 dashboard, and this new 3.0 has been added. Okay, now a quick sneak peek into what to expect. So in later iterations, we're going to have the ability for users to select multiple devices at once, so they don't have to output one by one and so on. And we'll also be adding the ability for the users to select whether they want to include the creation of a page or a section, which is a way that Figma uses to organize all of your information. And finally, well, not finally, but as an addition, we'll be later adding AI-generated content. A model will work on a standard trained chatbot model, but will also understand what it is that you're uploading from the index. What is it? Is it, for example, a healthcare professional microsite? Let's call it that. And that it has certain rules, certain requirements, certain standard pieces of content that should go into every one of those. And a user can select, okay, let me grab that content index template, and let me grab this HCP, healthcare professional, actual wireframe or design template, which will already have these pre-populated pieces of content as a starting point. And based on what you have on that content index and that design template, it will say, okay, you're here to talk about a mechanism of action. You're here to talk about prescribing information. You're here to talk about clinical trials, etc. And it will actually populate with starter content there, so that if what you're doing is you're going to just basically show a demo of it, you'll show something that feels a little bit more realistic. Let's talk about something I mentioned earlier, which is how would this benefit a non-UX person or a non-dev person, or someone that's having a conversation with a client or a prospect, etc. And let's say they're at lunch and the client has an idea for a new HCP microsite. And they start their dialogue, their account person or strategist, whoever is the agency contact, will open up a page document, whether it's on their phone or tablet, doesn't matter, and start putting together some content, initial content, just to flesh out the idea. And even with that, enough as they say, yeah, that looks good, let's go with it. Then that agency contact will feed that into the template. Into the plugin, InFlo UX. Do the same decisions. All these things will come up automatically. Is it primary, secondary, tertiary? Is there a template, whether it's a wireframe or a design, that they can point to? And the last thing I'm going to add is, once they generate all that, the other feature we'll be chasing later will be the new Figma slide feature, which is essentially is PowerPoint for Figma. And based on all the information and what the marketing objectives are, what kind of presentation type the project needs, or this ideation project needs, it'll say, okay, it's a new product, it's a pitch deck, it's a stakeholder executive presentation, what have you. It will output and generate slides and content based on that. And this kind of becomes an end-to-end strategic, fast and easy way to get these ideas from a dialogue to an actual prototype to include presentations. I thank you for your time and look forward to hearing feedback from you. And please, if you want to get more information, email us. If you want to stay alert on when we're going to be releasing the Figma to Adobe XD to Sketch, please also send us a message. Look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much again.